But interestingly, when Elisha asks for his servant's eyes to be opened, what his eyes are open to are not the forces of evil. Those were already open to the army that was all around them. Instead, he sees these horses of fire and these chariots of fire that are surrounding them on every side that are God's army. These are the protection of God that are behind us all the time. Because wherever the battle rages around God's loved ones, God is there and God's army is there. We just need to have our eyes open to the fact of this. I think we oftentimes walk through our lives clueless that God is protecting us. And we're oftentimes not aware of the way that God protects us because God protected us, and so we weren't aware that it happened. So we're not complaining about it. We're not thanking God for it. It's just happening in the backdrop. Like a drunk driver turns a different way at an intersection, and if he would have turned your way, it could have been certain disaster. Or maybe a poisonous gas leak is discovered before anybody is killed. Maybe there's a potential misunderstanding in a relationship that just doesn't happen. And these are all God's protection, but we're unaware of it because we were protected from it. Last night, I went on a little bit of an adventure with my wife, Kelly, my daughter, Casey, and a friend of ours, Grace Ockery. And we went on a 17-mile ride through Omaha late at night called the Owl Ride. So it starts 10 o'clock at night, ends midnight, 1 in the morning, something like that. We had fun going through all of the different neighborhoods. But because this message was in the forefront of my mind, I kept thinking about the spiritual battle that's there. As I'm driving through Midtown and Dundee, I'm thinking about how the forces of evil in these places are very real. We couldn't see them. We actually couldn't see anything because it was midnight. But we couldn't see them, but they're very much there. And I drive through places like Exarban and downtown, and I think about how the God's forces of good for the sake of the kingdom are there, and they're protecting His people. And then I'm running through the streets in the middle of the dark with thousands of other bike riders hitting potholes and becoming very aware of God's protection on my life and the people that are all around me and things that may be happening at any moment that I'm not seeing, but God is doing. And what Elisha had learned was to live in the depths of this spiritual reality, to know that it's true, and to have confidence in God that He's on the winning side. That's why he could say, don't be afraid. Those who are with us are more than those who are with them. And it becomes a model for all of us to emulate when we face barriers or things that might bring us fear in life.